Hello again. Welcome to Takasa Knitting Videos. Today I'm going to show you how to knit this beautiful reversible cable scarf. So the cables are reversible on both sides, so when you wear your scarf you don't have to worry about which is the right side and the wrong side. And it's a really easy 12 rows repeating pattern. So if you want to knit along with me, you can certainly do that following the videos. So we're going to start with casting on 34 stitches. And just remember, if you like to purchase the pattern to follow along the video, you can always email us at info@takasa.com for the pattern as well. So you cast on 34 stitches. I'm using the Diamond Luxury Mulberry Merino wool, so it has mulberry merino and silk in it. So it's a beautiful yarn to work with, really extremely soft as well. So on a size 5.5 millimeter needles, you'll cast on 34 stitches, and we're going to start with the first row. You're going to knit through the back of the loop. Normally you would knit through the front like that, but for this one, I want you to knit through the back of the loop because that would be edge stitch, and it will give you a beautiful clean edge that looks like that. So your edging is perfectly clean and there's no loose stitches or loops going on. So you always knit the first and last stitch through the back of the loop. So instead of going to the front, we're going to the back of the stitch like that. Oops. So you can see the back of the stitch, and you're going to knit that stitch. So that's called knit through the back of the loop, yarn over, and with the yarn still in front, you leave the yarn in the front, you're going to slip one, knit one, and pass the slip stitch over. You can tell the slip stitch because it's not a stitch that is crossed over. That's your yarn over, the stitch that crosses over like that. The slip stitch is a straight stitch, so it's just a stitch that sits there. That's the stitch you're going to pass over your knitted stitch. So just drop that off like that. And that's called slip one, knit one, pass slip stitch over, purl one, and you're going to knit one, purl one 3 times. Knit one, purl one, knit 2, purl 2, knit 3, purl 3. That's how I count my repeats so that I know how many times I've repeated it. Doesn't mean that I'm knitting 3 stitches. It just means that that's my third repeat basically. And then you're going to purl 1. And basically you're going to repeat back to the yarn over. So with the yarn in the front still, you're going to slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, purl 1, and knit 1, purl 1 3 times. So knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, purl 2, and knit 3, purl 3. Again, the way I count is just to remind me how many repeats I've done, not necessarily the number of stitches that I'm knitting or purling. Purl 1 and repeat. So leave the yarn in the front. You're going to slip 1, knit 1, and pass slip stitch over. Remember, your slip stitch is not the one that crosses, but it's the one that's right next to your knitted stitch, and that's the one you're going to pass over. Purl 1, and again knit 1, purl 1 3 times. So knit 1, knit 2, purl 2, purl 3. And I'm going to purl 1. So you should have 3 stitches left. So with your last 3 stitches, you're going to do the slip knit pass slip stitch over. So leave the yarn in the front. You're going to slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over. So pick that up and pass it over. And knit your last stitch through the back of the loop. So again, not through the front here, but through the back. So there's the back of the loop. And that's row 1. So now we're going to do row 2. Again, you always start with knit the first stitch through the back of the loop. Bring yarn forward and you're going to yarn over. So normally you need to bring the yarn to the front to purl anyway, so you need to yarn over. That means you're going to wrap the needle one more time. So yarn forward and then yarn over, and then you're going to purl 2 together. So pick up 2 stitches, purl 2 together, purl 1, and then knit 1, purl 1 3 times. Knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, purl 2, and knit 3, purl 3, and then purl 1. And you're going to repeat starting at the yarn over. Again, the yarn's already in the front. You're going to yarn over, purl 2 together, purl 1, and then knit 1, purl 1 3 times. Knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, purl 2, knit 3, purl 3. I really do love working with this yarn. You probably won't be able to see it on the video, but it's absolutely beautiful to knit with. It's so soft and it has a bit of a sheen to it. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it has a bit of a sheen to it, which makes the finished product so beautiful. Okay, we've repeated that 3 times and we're going to end with a purl 1, and then we repeat yarn over. So just wrap the yarn around your needle, purl 2 together, purl 1, oops, and then your 3 repeats of knit 1, purl 1 3 times. So knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, purl 2, knit 3, purl 3, and then purl 1 more, and you should have 3 stitches left. In your last 3 stitches, you're going to repeat that yarn over. So yarn over, purl 2 together, and knit 1 through the back of the loop. Again, not in the front. You're just going to go through the back of the stitch. Okay, so that's row 2. Now rows 3 and 4 is a repeat of rows 1 and 2. So I'll come right back with rows 5 and 6 because you're going to continue doing your repeat of the rows 3 and 4, which is actually row 1 and 2. Okay?